example of how we have to use the life cycle methods in any component, right? We covered all the three life cycle methods with example, right? So okay. Today we are going to cover about the use effect. Okay, so in case of functional component, in case of class level component, so for what are the methods we covered, right? Life cycle methods, all can be used in class level components. Okay, but if we want to use the life cycle features or life cycle related methods in case of the functional component, so we don't have any direct methods to use the life cycle features in the functional components. But after introducing the hooks, we have one hook called useEffect hook. By using that, we are able to perform the life cycle features in the functional component. Okay, so useEffect can perform any side effects. Can perform okay. So what is a side effect? Okay, can you tell what is a side effect? Like a normal terminology.
If it affects any if it affects any normal program.
Okay. No. Okay. So side effect is something that is what it is intended for, right? But it is not. But it is affecting others. I mean to say, suppose if you take corona vaccine, right? Just a normal example. If we take the corona vaccine, the main intention is to cure the corona, right? But apart from that, if it performs any other effects like blood clotting, anything, that we call it as a side effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct, right? So this in this way we can say that if it is deviating from the main purpose of any activity, that we can call it as a side effect.
Okay.
Okay, so we can say in a programming language, it is a bit of code that reaches out and does something else. Right? We'll see what this something is. So suppose I will take one simple JavaScript function to add the two numbers. Right? So how we can write a function add a comma b. We can return sum of these two numbers. Right? So is it doing any side effects, this JavaScript function?
No.
No, right? Since the main purpose of this function is to add two numbers, right? So whatever we are doing intentionally, the same it is doing. So now let us introduce a side effect, right? So I'm going to create a one do. Okay, assume we have a div inside of our document, right? Our HTML document. I am trying to get this by using get element by ID. Okay, div ID. Right now, for this div, I am going to add my result. Right? What I will do, I will change this function. Right, so instead of returning, what I will do, can we use constant? We can use constant result is equal to a plus b, right? So result div dot end of HTML the result is a dollar result. We have to use the backtick operator. So that's okay. So now I'm returning the result. Now can you tell, is it doing any side effect? Now this function is doing any side effects? Yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the main intention of this add function to add two numbers, but also apart from that, it is doing a side effect called adding the some data or some text to the result div, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, adding the text to the result div. So this we can call it as a side effect. Okay, so what are the side effects that we have in React, right? So what is the main purpose of the any React component? Suppose if you take a class level component, what we are returning from render, we are returning some UI, right?
Yeah.
In case of functional component also, we are returning some UI. Okay, the main functionality of any React component is to render something in the UI, right? Okay, so what are the side effects that we will have in React, right? So you can say anytime we are going to call an API, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anytime we are calling any API to get information, correct? Next,
Mm-hmm.
if we are using any set interval or set timeout methods, right? So, and also we can say if we are using or adding any event listeners. Okay, so these are the side effects we can say. Okay, so and also if we are using any window object, we using anytime directly using the window object. Right? So these are the most commonly used side effects in React. Right? So these side effects we have to perform by using the lifecycle method in case of the class-based components, right? So in case of class-based components, we used the component did mount to call an API, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Also, we used the component did update, right? If we got any update functionality.
Yes.
So these are the some of the functions or the React lifecycle functions that we used in class-based components in order to perform these side effects. Okay, but in case of the functional components, we have useEffect hook in order to perform these side effects.
Okay.
Okay, so by using useEffect hook, we can handle lifecycle events directly inside our functional components, right? Okay, so what are the lifecycle methods that we can use inside of our functional components? Okay, so we can use only 3 of the lifecycle methods. Okay, those are first one is the component did mount, right? Next one, component did update, right? Next we have component will unmount, right? So when this component did mount is going to be called,
When we initialize.
yeah, whenever the component is going to be rendered on the UI, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can give a conclusion that it will call only once, right?
Yes.
Only one time.
Yeah.
Okay, in case of the component did update, how many times it is going to call?
Whenever it's going to update.
Exactly. So how any component can update itself?
Whenever you change some props.
Exactly. Some props are state, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. So component will unmount. What it is going to do?
When it is done.
Will unmount. On the name itself, you can tell, right? Whenever the component unmounting, right? That time this method is going to be called. So this is something we can use to remove or to clean any cleanup activities in our component. We can do it. Like
Okay.
we removed the listeners, right? Whatever we attach it to the window, right? That we removed from this component will unmount.
Okay.
So okay, so these are the methods only we can use by using useEffect. Okay, the similar functionalities of these methods we can achieve by using the useEffect. Okay, so next we will see the syntax for useEffect. Okay, which accepts the 2 arguments. Okay, first one a function, right? Second one, dependency array. Okay, which accepts two arguments. First one is a function and second one is dependency array. Next. useEffect. Right? Function is nothing but it accepts two arguments, right? First one is function and second one dependency array. Array is like this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The function we can create as a arrow function also we can create outside of our useEffect also. Okay, we can create somewhere and we can refer that, or we can use the arrow function directly, right, inside of our first argument. Okay. So whatever the logic that we are going to do, we can write here. Do some stuff. Okay. Next, we can return the function from here. Okay, return. Okay, so we can return one function from here. Okay, we can. It is optional, right? We can return one function. It is optional. Okay, what is the use of this function? Okay, so like in case of the component did mount, right? Whatever the logic that we directly write inside of this, okay, function body, right? It will execute similar to the component did mount phases. Okay, I mean to say whenever we are rendering the component, that time this useEffect is going to be executed first time.
Okay.
Clear it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So next we have a dependency array, right? Okay. So dependency array is something that it will check for the array of things to watch. Okay, I mean to say if we are changing any prop or state, right, those we can mention to this useEffect as a values to this array. So what will happen, right? If any of this dependency array value will change, the body of the function is going to be executed. Clear, right? So this we can call it as a component did mount, right? Did update, correct? Okay.
Hello? Hello?